Hello everyone, this is Nimish. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to review Christopher Nolan's Tenet. This is a highly anticipated and exciting movie of 2020, of course by the master himself, who's made some brilliant films such as Interstellar, Inception, Memento, etc. Now, this movie was also additionally exciting for Indians because it had Dimple Kapadia in it. It was shot in Indian locations. It seemed to have some kind of Indian connect and put us on the map there in Hollywood again. So it was definitely an exciting thing because we have a lot of Christopher Nolan fans in India and we really love his movies. Tenet was for me personally exciting also because of Denzel Washington's son who plays the lead role, John David Washington, and I wanted to see how he can pull off such a big budget, huge film that just seemed crazy from the trailers and just seemed outstanding from the word go. So let's begin discussing this movie. As a whole, this movie can be a little divided on the audience front. I think that the people will be divided on is the core sci-fi audience that will really enjoy the details and nuances of the film versus the Nolan entertainment audience that might not get that feel of a complete satisfying entertainer from Christopher Nolan this time. That doesn't mean that this movie isn't any good. A lot of detailing has gone into this movie in writing the time concept, the whole thing that I don't want to give any spoilers, but everything that goes on, has been done very well. Special effects have been used intelligently to sort of play with the audience's mind and to give that sort of wow feeling. So it is satisfying from the sci-fi front. However, I feel like the star cast involved was not good enough for this concept film, for this project, and the script at the story level was not entertaining enough to keep the audiences hooked throughout or interested throughout or engaged throughout. What happened with a movie like Dark Knight or Inception is that you were really connected to the characters or the main protagonist. Over here, I missed that feeling. I did not really feel connected to John David Washington or Robert Pattinson or their friendship or anyone else in the movie, and therefore, although I was excited to watch them on screen, the story did not really help me like them, enjoy their personalities, and be involved in the process. The story itself focuses more on the sci-fi elements and concepts, takes out the sort of human emotion side from it. Again, Interstellar also had a hugely human emotion side pulled off very well by Matthew McConaughey. Inception had the great backstory. The full film was about Leonardo DiCaprio's personal sort of history, and the sci-fi elements also existed. It helped the whole emotional side of it. Same with Interstellar, it really had emotions at the core. Also Dark Knight, even Memento for that matter. This is the first Nolan movie I think where the emotions are not at the level at which you would expect it to be, and therefore sort of gets you disconnected from the film. In terms of performances, of course, John David Washington is very good and is able to pull off an entire film, but he's obviously very young and does not have the caliber of DiCaprio or Matthew McConaughey or Christian Bale to really keep the audiences hooked or to sort of have that magnetic personality and charm on screen that you can really enjoy watching. My surprise for this movie was Robert Pattinson because I've never really liked him. I've never really liked his initial performances in Twilight. It was pretty one-toned and stone-faced, I would say. It was very underplayed. But over the years, he's been promising more and more with his talent and his development of his art. In this film, I think he's my personal favorite because he completely surprised me with his very natural instinct and sort of flowy attitude on screen. I'm actually looking forward to watching much more from him because I think he's going to be a very promising actor in the future. He already is. He has a huge fan base even since his Twilight days, but I think he's going to get such, he did a Netflix film as well recently, and he's going to get such good projects because of these recent performances, and that was actually very exciting and surprising for me. The India part is obviously just there, very little, 10 to 15 minutes overall. Dimple Kapadia is there for 10 to 15 minutes overall, and there was no need, so to speak, for India, but I'm happy that they picked India. At least there was something about it on such a big film. The main sort of antagonist or the opposite character is played by Kenneth Branagh, who's a brilliant actor who I always enjoy, and I think he had a very powerful performance in this film. However, again, it was one tone. It was like that, like we say in many Indian movies, the villains are one tone. They are always just bad. They just have nothing else to do. Kenneth Branagh sort of had that, and I don't think we really got to explore much of his personality. I really enjoyed his performance though. What was asked of him, he delivered, and he delivered it in a very solid way. That being said, overall, again, sometimes the background music was way too loud for my liking. I hate it when background music overpowers the movie itself or is used as the main character and narrative in a movie. That is not the purpose of BGM. You should not realize that there is BGM, yet you should feel like, the BGM was good. That is the art of making films, and I felt like that was too loud. Some of the action sequences were a little prolonged, making it a little repetitive and a little done to death sort of a thing. It could have been trimmed, and the film could have been trimmed itself to make it more crisp and more exciting and more sort of edge of the seat, because it has that concept and theme. It could very easily be made that way, but I think some of the editing and the action sequences were a little prolonged. The effects are used mainly in such action or high octane situations, and it feels like it's been used as an effect as opposed to serving the movie's purpose. Again, Interstellar, Inception, all these movies, these effects and everything really serve the purpose. Like for Inception, you can, obviously the levels and everything. It was hand in glove with the movie and what it's trying to tell. Over here, it just seems a little forced to sort of make the audiences excited and to sort of justify a creativity element of the movie or the director's vision. So everything didn't really come together for me. However, as I said at the start, there will be a divided opinion on this movie because the core sci-fi people have not really seen a good sci-fi film in a while, I feel like. And to have this kind of concept is definitely exciting. And at the same time, for the Nolan audiences, some of them may like it because, they might be loyal followers, or they might enjoy this movie as it is just because it's different. It doesn't need to be emotional. It doesn't need to be the same thing every time. So they might enjoy it. But for me, it really didn't make it to that level. I was actually hoping this movie supersedes Interstellar, Inception, everything that he's done to date, because the trailer was that exciting. Everything about it was that exciting. If you read about how the movie came to be, how they came up with the name, etc., it's all very exciting. And so with the fresh young star cast, I was hoping for much more, but it did not live up to my personal expectations. Again, probably because the expectations were sky high. So I'm going for 3 stars for Tenet. I hope you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep watching for more.